Connecticut is one of the smallest states in the United States, but it has played a very important role in the nation's history and development. Located in the New England region of the Northeastern United States, Connecticut is bordered by Massachusetts to the north, Rhode Island to the east, New York to the west, and Long Island Sound to the south. Because of its location, the state has long served as a connection between New England and the larger metropolitan areas of New York. Connecticut is often called the Constitution State, a nickname that reflects its early contribution to democratic government and written laws. Despite its small size, Connecticut is known for its strong economy, high level of education, and rich cultural history. The state combines historic towns, modern cities, coastal communities, and rural landscapes. Hartford is the capital city, while Bridgeport is the largest city by population. Other important cities include New Haven, Stamford, Waterbury, and Norwalk. Connecticut's mix of old traditions and modern development makes it unique among American states. Connecticut's geography is diverse for a state of its size. Along the southern edge of the state lies Long Island Sound, which connects Connecticut to the Atlantic Ocean. This coastline has shaped the state's economy and history through fishing, shipping, and trade. Moving inland, the land becomes more hilly and forested, especially in the western and eastern parts of the state. The Connecticut River, the longest river in New England, flows through the central part of the state and has been an important transportation and farming resource for centuries. The highest land in Connecticut is found in the northwestern hills, while the lowest point is sea level along the coast. The climate in Connecticut includes 4 distinct seasons. Winters are cold and often snowy, especially in northern and inland areas. Summers are warm and sometimes humid, while spring and autumn tend to be mild and pleasant. The fall season is especially famous for colorful leaves, which attract visitors from across the country. Coastal areas usually experience milder weather than inland regions. Although Connecticut is one of the smallest states by land area, it has a relatively large population. About 3.5 million people live in the state, making it one of the most densely populated states in the country. Many residents live in suburban or urban areas, particularly in the southern and central parts of the state. Connecticut is also diverse, with people from many racial, ethnic, and cultural backgrounds. English is the main language spoken, but Spanish and other languages are also common, especially in cities. Before European settlers arrived, the land that is now Connecticut was home to several Native American tribes, including the Pequot, Mohegan, and Quinnipiac peoples. These groups lived in organized communities and depended on farming, hunting, fishing, and trade. European colonization greatly disrupted Native American life through disease, land loss, and conflict. One of the most tragic events of this period was the Pequot War, which resulted in the near destruction of the Pequot tribe. English settlers began arriving in Connecticut in the early 17th century, mostly from the Massachusetts Bay Colony. They founded some of the earliest towns in the state, including Hartford, Windsor, and Wethersfield. In 1639, Connecticut adopted the Fundamental Orders, a document that established a government based on the consent of the people. This document is often considered the first written constitution in America and is the reason Connecticut is called the Constitution State. During the American Revolutionary War, Connecticut supported the fight for independence from Britain by providing food, weapons, and supplies to the Continental Army. Because of this, it became known as the Provision State. Many residents served as soldiers, and the state played a key role in supporting the war effort even though few major battles were fought there. In the 19th century, Connecticut became a leader in industrial growth and innovation. Factories produced firearms, clocks, tools, textiles, and other goods. The state was especially important in the development of interchangeable parts, which helped create modern mass production. Cities such as Hartford, New Haven, Bridgeport, and Waterbury grew quickly during this time as people moved from rural areas to work in factories. As the 20th century progressed, Connecticut's economy changed. While manufacturing remained important, New industries such as insurance, finance, healthcare, and education became major employers. Hartford earned a reputation as the insurance capital of the world, while other cities became centers for business and technology. Defense and aerospace manufacturing also became important, with companies producing jet engines, submarines, and advanced equipment. Education has always been a strong part of life in Connecticut. The state is home to some of the most respected schools and universities in the country, including Yale University in New Haven and the University of Connecticut. Many residents hold college degrees, and the state places a strong emphasis on public education. Libraries, museums, and cultural institutions are found throughout the state and contribute to lifelong learning. Connecticut's cities and towns each have their own character. Hartford is known for its history, government buildings, and insurance companies. New Haven is famous for Yale University and its cultural life. Bridgeport is an important port city with a long industrial history. Stamford serves as a major business center close to New York City, while towns such as Mystic, Greenwich, and Litchfield are known for tourism, history, and scenic beauty. Cultural life in Connecticut includes music, theater, art, and historic preservation. The state has many museums, historical sites, and performance spaces. Outdoor recreation is also popular, with residents and visitors enjoying parks, forests, beaches, and hiking trails. Long Island Sound provides opportunities for boating and fishing, while inland areas offer camping and nature exploration. Connecticut's government operates under a state constitution and places strong importance on local control. Town governments play a large role in education and community services. Politically, the state tends to support Democratic candidates in national elections, though political views vary widely at the local level. In conclusion, Connecticut is a small state with a big impact. Its history, geography, economy, and culture have shaped not only the region of New England but the entire nation. From its early role in creating democratic government to its modern contributions in education, industry, and finance, Connecticut remains an important and influential part of the United States. Its blend of history and progress continues to define the state and the people who live there. Connecticut is one of the 6 New England states in the Northeastern United States, known for its small size but significant impact on American history and culture. It is often called the Constitution State because of the Fundamental Orders of 1639, which many historians regard as the first written constitution in America. Hartford, the state capital, is known for its historic government buildings and role as a center for the insurance industry, while Bridgeport is the largest city by population and historically served as an industrial hub. Despite its small size, Connecticut has a very diverse landscape, ranging from coastal beaches along Long Island Sound to rolling hills and mountains in the northwest. The state's geography includes the Connecticut River, which is the longest river in New England and flows through the central part of the state. This river has been vital to early settlers, providing fertile land for farming, routes for transportation, and water for industry. Connecticut's highest point is the south slope of Mount Frissell, reaching about 2,380 feet above sea level, while its lowest point is at sea level along the coast. The state has a humid continental climate, which means residents experience cold, snowy winters, warm and humid summers, mild springs, and vibrant autumns, making it particularly famous for fall foliage. Its location between Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, and Long Island Sound has historically made Connecticut a strategic corridor for trade, travel, and military defense. Before the arrival of European settlers, Connecticut was home to several Native American tribes, including the Pequot, Mohegan, and Quinnipiac peoples. These tribes lived in well-organized communities, farmed crops such as corn and beans, and relied on hunting, fishing, and trade. The arrival of English colonists in the early 17th century dramatically changed the region. Settlements like Hartford, Windsor, and Wethersfield were established, and the English introduced European governance, trade practices, and agriculture. In 1639, the adoption of the fundamental orders established a government based on the consent of the people, setting a precedent for future democratic systems in America. Connecticut played a critical role in the American Revolution, providing soldiers, food, weapons, and other supplies to the Continental Army. The state earned the nickname Provision State for its efforts and became known for its contributions to the fight for independence. During the 19th century, Connecticut became an industrial powerhouse, producing firearms, clocks, textiles, brass, tools, and other goods. Cities such as Hartford, New Haven, Waterbury, and Bridgeport grew rapidly as factories and mills attracted workers. The state was also influential in the development of interchangeable parts, which helped pioneer modern manufacturing techniques. In the 20th century, Connecticut's economy diversified beyond traditional manufacturing. Hartford became internationally recognized as the insurance capital of the world, hosting major insurance companies and financial institutions. Advanced manufacturing, defense, and aerospace industries also became key contributors, with Connecticut companies producing jet engines, submarines, and precision instruments. Education and healthcare emerged as major economic sectors, with world-class universities such as Yale University in New Haven, Wesleyan University, and the University of Connecticut serving as centers for research, learning, and employment. Connecticut is home to more than 3.5 million people, making it densely populated for its size. The population is diverse, including communities of Hispanic, African American, Asian, and European descent, contributing to a rich cultural and social life. Cities and towns in Connecticut each have unique characteristics. Hartford, the state capital, blends historic architecture with modern business and cultural institutions. New Haven is internationally recognized for its academic and cultural life centered around Yale University. Bridgeport, historically an industrial city, has waterfront areas and urban redevelopment projects. Stamford has become a major business hub with close ties to New York City, while towns such as Greenwich and Litchfield combine historical charm with modern wealth and development. Coastal towns like Mystic are popular tourist destinations, known for their maritime museums and aquariums. Connecticut's culture is shaped by its history, educational institutions, and natural environment. The state has a strong tradition of the arts, including theater, music, and visual arts, supported by museums, galleries, and performing arts centers. Outdoor recreation is a major part of life in Connecticut, with residents enjoying hiking, boating, fishing, skiing, and camping. Long Island Sound provides opportunities for sailing, swimming, and marine exploration, while inland forests, rivers, and hills attract hikers and nature enthusiasts. Many towns are known for their scenic charm, historic homes, and well-preserved colonial architecture, reflecting the state's long and rich history. Education is highly valued in Connecticut, which has some of the best public schools and private institutions in the country. Yale University, one of the most prestigious universities in the world, draws students from across the globe and is a major cultural and economic force in the state. The University of Connecticut serves as the state's flagship public university, with campuses in stores and other locations. Connecticut's high educational standards contribute to its strong economy and quality of life, as well as to its innovative industries and research initiatives. Connecticut has a strong tradition of local governance, with towns playing a central role in managing schools, public services, and community development. Politically, the state tends to vote Democratic in national elections, though there is diversity in local political perspectives. Connecticut has a history of civic engagement and social reform, having contributed significantly to early democratic governance, industrial innovation, and educational development in the United States. The state's economy remains diverse today, including finance, insurance, education, healthcare, manufacturing, and tourism. Many residents commute to New York City, taking advantage of Connecticut's proximity to major metropolitan areas while living in suburban or small-town environments. Connecticut's standard of living is among the highest in the nation, although it faces challenges such as income inequality and high living costs. The combination of historical significance, economic strength, educational excellence, and natural beauty makes Connecticut a unique and important part of the United States. From its role as one of the original 13 colonies to its modern position as a hub for industry, finance, and education, Connecticut offers a fascinating story of growth, innovation, and culture. Its small size does not limit its influence. Instead, Connecticut continues to contribute significantly to the nation's history, economy, and identity. The state's towns, cities, rivers, forests, and coastline tell a story of resilience, creativity, and tradition, making Connecticut both historically important and modernly relevant. Its mixture of history, innovation, and natural beauty ensures that Connecticut remains a distinctive and valuable part of the American landscape. Connecticut is a constituent state of the United States of America. It is one of the original 13 states and is one of the 6 New England states, located in the northeastern corner of the country. Connecticut borders Massachusetts to the north, Rhode Island to the east, Long Island Sound to the south, and New York to the west. It is among the most densely populated, yet ranks 48th among the 50 U.S. states in terms of total area. The capital of Connecticut is Hartford. Hartford is located in the north-central part of the state and is a major industrial and commercial center and port. It became the sole capital of Connecticut in 1875, sharing the title with New Haven prior to this date. Hartford is home to the Wadsworth Atheneum, the oldest free public art museum in the United States, which opened in 1844. The city is also home to the nation's oldest surviving newspaper, the Hartford Courant, established in 1764. Connecticut, a state in the northeastern U.S., has a rich history and diverse geography. While it doesn't have a single dominant metropolis, its urban population is distributed among several important cities. Hartford is the capital of Connecticut and a major industrial and commercial center. New Haven is a port city with a strong manufacturing history and is home to Yale University. Bridgeport, the state's most populous city, is a port on Long Island Sound with a history as a manufacturing center. Waterbury was known in the 19th century for being the nation's largest producer of brass products. Other significant cities include Stamford and New London. These urban centers contribute to Connecticut's economy and cultural identity. The name Connecticut is believed to have come from the Mahican word Quinniticute, which means at the long tidal river, referring to the Connecticut River. The Connecticut River is the longest stream in New England, rising in the Connecticut Lakes in northern New Hampshire and flowing roughly southwestward. The area was colonized by English Puritans from the Massachusetts Bay Colony during the 1630s. Relations between Native Americans and the early settlers in Connecticut were good. The state's name is pronounced with a glottal stop in the middle. Connecticut has a highly industrial and service-oriented economy and ranks among the top states for personal income per capita. Manufacturing has long been a mainstay of Connecticut's economy. Items that have been manufactured in Connecticut by long tradition are firearms, and many brass products. Submarines were produced in Groton beginning in 1924, including the first nuclear-powered submarine, the Nautilus. Services have come to dominate Connecticut's economy, and the health and tourist sectors have grown dramatically since the late 20th century. Financial services, insurance, and real estate have also grown considerably. Connecticut is often referred to as the country's insurance center, and Hartford as Insurance City. Connecticut played a significant role in American history through its pioneering framework for self-governance and contributions to the U.S. Constitution. The state's adoption of the Fundamental Orders in 1638 is considered by many historians to be the first written constitution that established a representative government. At the Constitutional Convention of 1787, Connecticut delegates Roger Sherman and Oliver Ellsworth proposed the Connecticut Compromise, which resolved a disagreement between small and large states. The compromise created a bicameral legislature with proportional representation in the lower house and equal representation in the upper house. During the American Revolution, Connecticut's manufacturing industries contributed to the war effort, earning it the nickname Provision State. Connecticut, a state in the New England region of the Northeastern United States. It borders Rhode Island to the east, Massachusetts to the north, New York to the west, and Long Island Sound to the south. Its capital is Hartford, and its most populous city is Bridgeport. Connecticut lies between the major hubs of New York City and Boston along the Northeast Corridor, where the New York-Newark combined statistical area, which includes 4 of Connecticut's 7 largest cities, extends into the southwestern part of the state. Connecticut is the 3rd smallest state by area after Rhode Island and Delaware, and the 29th most populous with more than 3.6 million residents as of 2024, ranking it 4th among the most densely populated U.S. states. The state is named after the Connecticut River, the longest in New England, which roughly bisects the state and drains into the Long Island Sound between the towns of Old Saybrook and Old Lyme. The name of the river is in turn derived from anglicized spellings of Quinnipiac, a Mohegan Pequot word for Long Tidal River. Before the arrival of the first European settlers, the region was inhabited by various Algonquian tribes. In 1633, the Dutch West India Company established a small, short-lived settlement called House of Hope in Hartford. Half of Connecticut was initially claimed by the Dutch colony New Netherland, which included much of the land between the Connecticut and Delaware rivers, although the first major settlements were established by the English around the same time. Thomas Hooker led a band of followers from the Massachusetts Bay Colony to form the Connecticut Colony, while other settlers from Massachusetts founded the Saybrook Colony and the New Haven Colony. Both had merged into the first by 1664. Connecticut's official nickname, the Constitution State, refers to the fundamental orders adopted by the Connecticut Colony in 1639, which is considered by some to be the first written constitution in Western history. As one of the 13 colonies that rejected British rule during the American Revolution, Connecticut was influential in the development of the federal government of the United States. In 1787, Roger Sherman and Oliver Ellsworth, state delegates to the Constitutional Convention, proposed a compromise between the Virginia and New Jersey plans. Its bicameral structure for Congress, with a respectively proportional and equal representation of the states in the House of Representatives and Senate, was adopted and remains to this day. In January 1788, Connecticut became the 5th state to ratify the Constitution. Connecticut is a developed and affluent state, performing well on the Human Development Index and on different metrics of income except for equality. It is home to a number of prestigious educational institutions, including Yale University in New Haven, as well as other liberal arts colleges and private boarding schools in and around the Knowledge Corridor. Due to its geography, Connecticut has maintained a strong maritime tradition. The United States Coast Guard Academy is located in New London by the Thames River. The state is also associated with the aerospace industry through major companies Pratt & Whitney and Sikorsky Aircraft, headquartered in East Hartford and Stratford, respectively. Historically a manufacturing center for arms, hardware, and timepieces, Connecticut, as with the rest of the region, had transitioned into an economy based on the financial, insurance, and real estate sectors. Many multinational firms providing such services can be found concentrated in the state capital of Hartford and along the Gold Coast in Fairfield County. Thank you for watching this video.